Joining us on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is wide receiver of the Cleveland Browns, Amari Cooper. How you doing, Amari?
I'm doing well. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Of course, absolutely. I'm just going to jump right in. How are things for you to be in Cleveland? What was that adjustment process for you, Amari Cooper?
I think I'm a very adaptable person. So, it was a pretty smooth transition. I obviously had to move, across the country, but other than that, just being able to stay focused on football and stuff like that, it was pretty smooth. It wasn't anything to where I was struggling to adapt to the situation.
Okay. Were you surprised that you were traded, Amari Cooper?
I wouldn't say I was surprised because there were like rumors lingering. Like this social media era, I was able to see those rumors, so it kind of got my antennas up. So by the time it had happened, I wasn't surprised. Nah.
Okay, so then let me dive a little bit deeper. Why do you think you were traded, Amari?
I don't know, man. I don't know the mindset of Jerry Jones, so I can't exactly tell you why.
Okay. Do you have any theories? Any?
There's a lot of theories out there, but I'm gonna just go over what he said. I think I saw him say something like a couple of days ago, actually, on Twitter. It was like the amount of money they were paying me or something like that. I guess it was too much, and I guess he felt like they could do other things with the money. So.
Okay. Are you aware, Amari Cooper, of how much you are missed by the Dallas Cowboys fan base? Are you aware of that? Has that awareness reached you in Cleveland, Ohio?
Nah, it hasn't really reached me.
Well, let me tell you. There's been quite a bit of a conversation. I've got a Dallas Cowboy fan right here. Do you want to tell him how much you miss him, TJ Jefferson? Do you want to tell him?
I mean, on behalf of Cowboy Nation, I'm just going to say, Coop. Miss you, dog. We miss you, man.
Man, it feels good to be missed, I guess.
Well, I'm sure it also feels good to be where you are. And so walk me through Jacoby Brissette and your ability to connect in a way with him so quickly, Amari.
Yeah, I would say the biggest reason we've been able to have the connection that we've built so far is just communication. Throughout the week, he's always asking me. He's always, texting me, sending me videos of film that he's watching, showing me, similar routes that we have in, and how guys that I might be facing that week have been getting beat on that route, et cetera, et cetera. It's constant communication throughout the week. So that's been the biggest thing for sure.
So he's watching film for himself, obviously, to prepare himself for the game, let's say, against Atlanta. And he's noticing something on film. What is he just shooting it with his phone and then sending it to you, or it's an actual clip, or is that what's happening? He's doing with you?
Yeah. He'll record a video on his phone and send it to me, and then he'll be like, "What you think on this? When you have this route?" And then I'll communicate that to him, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I see it the same way," or he'll be like, "Nah, I don't think that will work as well as the way I'm seeing it because of X, Y, and Z." So. Great communication.
And how helpful is that for you?
The reason why it's very helpful is because Coach Stefanski does a really great job of with the stuff we practice during the week. Mm-hmm. Most of it carries on to the game, and we end up running I would say 90-something% of the plays that we're practicing. And so with other offensive coordinators, we get to the game and it's like a whole new game plan. But I say that to say the reason that it's helpful is because he'll send me those recordings, and we'll talk about how he wants me to run a certain route that we've been practicing, and then like clockwork, the play is called in the game. We'll remember that conversation, and it's been working.
So are you saying in, say, a previous stop, there wasn't a consistency between plays practiced and plays called during the game, Amari Cooper?
What Wait, say it again?
Are you saying then let's just say a previous stop of yours in the NFL, there wasn't a similar consistency between plays practiced and then plays called in a game? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying like here.
Yes.
Let's say throughout the course of the week we have, because I mean usually a game is like 80 plays or something like that. Let's say we have 90 plays in the game plan. We're gonna run those 80 that we practice. We're gonna run those 90 plays that we practice. We're gonna run like 80 of them. Those 80 in the game. So, but like at other places that I've been, of course, you're gonna run what you practice in the game because I mean that's why you're practicing. But it's not like as big a percentage, if that makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense. I'm just trying to get Dallas Cowboys fans' hair more on fire when you talk about them.
Coop, it's okay. You can say the Raiders. you can say the Raiders. It's fine. It's fine.
That's funny.
But I just love watching the offense at work, Amari. It's certainly the way that Chubb is running the ball, and clearly you were teammates with an A-lister in Zeke. Any similarities between Zeke and Nick Chubb that you see, Amari?
Yeah, a lot of similarities. I mean, they both run really hard. They both run real hard. They both are really strong players. They both have good speed. So yeah, definitely a lot of similarities.
And then what does he bring to the offense? Obviously, there's Kareem Hunt as well, but it just seems to me the way that he runs the ball and the way it opens other things up, and then also gives you that physical mindset. It looks contagious to me. I wonder what it looks like from your perspective. You're actually in the offense, Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, as a receiver, Kareem and Nick, those are my favorite teammates. But two, the best teammates that I can personally have. It makes my job 100 times easier because I know the defense. You'll be a fool as a defensive coordinator to not go into the game and say, we have to stop this guy. We have to stop these two guys. You know what I mean? That's like the primary focus. And so I just get to sneak through the back door. So I'm loving it.
Well, I mean, not to create any dissension, Amari, but let's just say early December, there's an SEC championship game between Georgia and Alabama. You're going to still call Nick Chubb your favorite teammate? You're going to do that then? You going to do that?
I mean, he know what time it is, man. I don't think he ever beat Bama.
But, I mean, Georgia is the national champ right now, though, right? Am I wrong?
But I don't think he ever beat Bama.
Oh, I see. How many times did you beat Georgia?
I only played them once.
What's up with that? I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm a Michigan guy. Michigan plays Ohio State every year, and Georgia and Alabama should be playing every year. I mean,
it's weird. Yeah, some teams you just don't play every year. Thing.
Well, by the way, it just hit me. You're the perfect person to ask this question because I ask this of everybody who comes on the show from Alabama. What is the most you ever pissed off Nick Saban, Amari Cooper?
The most I ever pissed off Nick Saban?
Yeah, what happened?
Let me think.
You got one?
Let me think. I can only really remember 2 times that Nick Saban somewhat got mad at me. One was when I was a freshman and we were done with the period. And the thing is, you can never really walk on the field. And I was kind of walking to the sideline after the period was over with, and he just ran behind me and was like, "Get off the field!" He screamed at me. And then there was another time. I think I was sophomore maybe. But I don't really remember. I just remember that time getting yelled at. But other than that, I wasn't one of those players that really pissed them off.
Okay, because you were too damn good, right? Is that what it was? Was that what it was? You could be honest. You were too good.
I mean, honestly, the better players don't really get get them pissed off as much as the guys who aren't starting at the time.
Mm-hmm. I get it now. I understand. Amari Cooper here on the Rich Eisen Show. I do want to, in all seriousness, ask you what you thought of when you saw fellow Crimson Tide player Tua Tagovailoa on the turf last night on Thursday Night Football. I asked this of George Kittle earlier. You know, you are a guy who puts it on the line every single snap as well. There, but for the grace of football gods can go any of you and your colleagues. What do you think when you saw that last night? What went through your head, Amari?
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it was very frightening and saddening at the same time because, I mean, I've been through that situation twice, but I mean, his was very scary. Like when I was in that situation, and mine wasn't nearly as scary as his. Even though we were both unconscious, I know how afraid my family was and my friends were, and how they were all like texting me and stuff like that. But man, that was scary. I was real scared for him, and I hope and I pray that he's good, like he has all his faculties in place and everything like that. Because I don't even know how to explain it. I was like real sad about that.
Of course, I mean the whole country. Our hearts were in our throats, but again, we're not the ones who are putting a helmet on every single week. Do you feel like when you have gone through the concussion protocol that you, if you have one, it is caught? And what are the pressures a player might feel about getting back on the field, Amari? You have any thoughts you can share on that?
Yeah. I mean, usually you always want to play. I mean, that's just the nature of us NFL players. We're competitive. We always want to play. I think typically the protocol is like if they see you get knocked out, whether it's 1 second or 10 seconds or something, they don't allow you to come back. But like if you get hit or something and you're not like unconscious and you might be a little woozy, I think there's some leeway there. Like you'll go meet with the training staff. They'll talk to you. They'll see if you're like, slurring your words or if you remember where you are. What quarter you're in, what day of the week it's in. If you don't get knocked out and you can answer all those questions, typically they'll allow you to come back. But I think once you get knocked out, no matter how short a time, then you can't come back. Because that's what happened to me in the past. Like I was put to sleep and everything like that. I wasn't allowed to come back. But I really wanted to play, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think that's like kind of the protocol.
Amari Cooper, I really appreciate the time going down to Atlanta, and that's SEC country. I'm sure you'll be comfortable there, and it's a big opportunity, right? 3-1, certainly with Brissette currently there, and Watson coming back, we assume after 11 weeks. This is a pretty big game for you. Would you agree on that front, Amari?
Of course.
Okay. Do you have any message for? Do you have any message for? Last one. Do you have any message for Cowboys fans as you go out the door? Any message for them?
Nah, I don't got a message for Cowboys fans.
Rich, can I tell Amari what he did against Georgia?
Sure.
I just looked this up.
Okay.
2012 SEC championship game. 8 catches, 128 yards, game-winning 45-yard touchdown pass from A.J. McCarron.
You're just being humble.
So he had a light day at the office that day. It was nothing. It was nothing.
Yeah, I remember that vividly, actually. It was my freshman year. It was one of my bigger games, actually, like coming onto the scene as a college football player. Even though it was towards the end of the year, I made some really big plays in that game to where I knew that I could really be able to play at the next level,
Amari, thanks for the time. Let's do this more on the regular if you're up for it. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Really.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Yeah, I'll be down to do it for sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Terrific. Amari Cooper.
Amari Fridays.
At Amari Friday. At Amari Cooper 9 on Twitter and Instagram from your Cleveland Browns. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Take care. That's Amari Cooper, everybody.